Peace fam, absolute salute, Ella the boss, aka Ella the God, and we are tapped in again with another reading segment brought to you by Quantum Melody Media, and this time the goddess is on deck, ready to read chapter 2 for you, so here we go.
Chapter 2, The Lab and the Studio, MK Ultra, Operation Mockingbird, and the Weaponization of Consciousness. The inverted spiritual doctrines of Crowley and the Typhonian Order did not remain confined to secret societies and occult lodges. They found a powerful and willing partner in the Burgonian intelligence agencies of the Cold War, who were desperately seeking new methods of control, manipulation, and psychological warfare. This unholy alliance between the spy and the sorcerer would give birth to the most notorious mind control program in history, MK Ultra. It would also create the mechanism for projecting the occult spell onto the entire population through the infiltration of the mass media. From Babylon to Diagnetics, the L. Ron Hubbard Connection. The story of Jack Parsons, the brilliant rocket scientist and devoted follower of Aleister Crowley, is a critical link in this chain. In 1946, Parsons, along with his magical partner L. Ron Hubbard, conducted the infamous Babylon Working, a series of rituals designed to manifest the Thelemic goddess Babylon on the physical plane. While the ritual success is a matter of occult debate, what is undeniable is what came out of it. Shortly after his work with Parsons, Hubbard would go on to develop Dianetics, the system that would evolve into Scientology. Scientology, with its hierarchical structure, its use of auditing to uncover and exploit psychological trauma, and its cult-like control over its members, is a perfect example of a secularized, systematized form of magical control. It is a mind control system masquerading as a religion, a direct descendant of the occult techniques Hubbard practiced with Parsons. The pipeline from occult ritual to mass market mind control was established. MK Ultra, the CIA search for the Manchurian candidate. Beginning in the early 1950s, the CIA embarked on a top-secret, illegal program of human experimentation known as MK Ultra. The program's goal was to develop techniques for mind control, including the creation of programmable assassins or Manchurian candidates. The methods used were a horrific catalog of physical and psychological torture, LSD and other psychedelic drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, electroshock, and most importantly, the systematic application of trauma. MK Ultra researchers, many of them former Nazi scientists brought to the U.S. through Operation Paperclip, discovered that by subjecting an individual to trauma so severe that it caused the personality to split, they could create and program alternate personalities, or alters. This is the basis of what is now known as trauma-based mind control, or monarch programming. The victims of these experiments were the most vulnerable members of society: prisoners, mental patients, and disproportionately Black Americans whose communities were seen as a laboratory for social engineering. The CIA's interest in the occult was not incidental. They understood that the occult world had been studying consciousness and its manipulation for centuries. The agency actively recruited occultists, studied their texts, and incorporated their techniques into the MK Ultra program. The goal was the same as the ancient mystery schools, but inverted. Not to liberate consciousness, but to enslave it. Operation Mockingbird, the spell goes mainstream. Having developed the tools for mind control, the intelligence agencies needed a way to deploy them on a mass scale. The answer was Operation Mockingbird, a covert CIA program to infiltrate and influence the American media. The CIA recruited hundreds of journalists, editors, and media executives, placing them in positions of power at major newspapers, magazines, and television networks. Through Mockingbird, the CIA could control the narrative, shape public opinion, and suppress dissenting voices. It could decide what stories were told and what stories were buried. It was the perfect mechanism for casting a mass media spell, for creating a consensus reality that served the interests of the control system. The line between intelligence and entertainment began to blur, creating the perfect environment for the next phase of the operation, the transformation of the entertainment industry itself into a weapon of mass psychological warfare.
And the boss. With 85, really? Look. I speak from the heart cause I mean it, activities, I've really seen it. And I know it's the reason that I am still breathing, cause funerals I've been to plenty and plenty so many. So I got really familiar with a pistol really quickly. Moving and sticking in the city where they killing for pennies, literally. And the misery stemming from poverty, and the poverty got me doing robberies on my own, no camaraderie, and there's no sleep when there's mouths to feed. Responsibilities and I gotta eat, I was blind but now I see. I went from a soldier to a warrior, and a warrior to a king. And I'm taking the bitter with the sweet, focus on my goal, closer to my dream. I can't let nothing hinder me, now my kids are grown and I found my queen. And I got that fine side of me, cause I've been there hella back to say the least. Spent half my life in the penitentiary, now I'ma let my freedom ring. Look, I've been used to be denied, struggled all my life, I'm a product of the system. Should've died many times, but I'm still alive, so I believe in miracles. 14 years with 85, open up my eyes and now I'm seeing clearer. I'm saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm looking at God when I look in the mirror. I've been used to be denied, struggled all my life, I'm a product of the system. Should've died many times, but I'm still alive, so I believe in miracles. 14 years with 85, open up my eyes and now I'm seeing clearer. I'm saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm looking at God when I look in the mirror. I'm a visionary, not a dreamer, I give my testimony like a preacher. I hear my inner voices and my angels are fighting my demons, they won't be defeated. I speak for my people cause I'm a leader, got the heart of a lion cause I'm a Leo. Got a lot on my mind, I gotta free it, did a lot of time, now they gotta free me. The see is believing, I don't believe what I'm seeing, I can't believe what I'm hearing, couldn't believe where I've been. Now that I pay for my sins, I'm destined to win. I believe walk what I talk, been in the water with shark. Used to be lost, never been taught, I'm going hard, I paid the cost to be under the boss, I'm born unique. Switching up my flow, I broke it down like Cardi B. Then I brought it back to my initial style, and I did it with effortless ease. I'm cool as a breeze, sharp as a razor, innovative and creative. I'm permanently mentally elevated, cause I feel like falling love relations, haters constantly trying my picture for honesty, how can I blame them? I'm a player, shining without even trying. You stagnated cause you playing, I'm saying I stay in my lane, so I'ma remain ahead of the game. It's simple than plain, I want the money without the complications of the fame. I refuse to be denied, struggled all my life, I'm a product of the system. Should've died many times, but I'm still alive, so I believe in miracles. 14 years with 85, open up my eyes and now I'm seeing clearer. I'm saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm looking at God when I look in the mirror. Listen. Hey, peace fam, absolute salute, and the boss, aka under the guy, and I'm tapping in with another reading segment brought to you by Quantum Melanin Media, and as always, the amazing goddess, Mahal Keeper, sitting over here right by my side, and I'm about to get into this reading of the Occult Media Spell, Chapter 4, The Trinity of Trauma, Hip-Hop, Porn, and the Weaponization of Addiction. The media spell is not just an intellectual deception, it is a visceral, biological, and spiritual assault. To truly hypnotize a population, you must capture their nervous system, hijack their desires, and addict them to their own degradation. The control system has perfected this process through a trinity of trauma: the weaponization of hip-hop, the proliferation of pornography, and the deliberate contamination of the food and drug supply. These are not separate phenomena. They are three heads of the same hydra working together to keep Black America in a state of perpetual spiritual and psychological bondage. Hip-hop, the hijacking of a revolutionary culture. Hip-hop did not begin as a tool of the control system. It was born in the ghettos of the Bronx as a powerful expression of Black creativity and resistance, a culture of peace, love, unity, and having fun. The early pioneers of hip-hop used the art form to tell stories of their community, to expose the realities of police brutality and systemic poverty, and to create a sense of identity and pride. It was in its purest form a weapon of the people. But the control system, recognizing the power of this new cultural force, moved quickly to co-opt and invert it. Through the gatekeepers of the music industry, the same networks connected to the intelligence and the cult establishments, the revolutionary potential of hip-hop was systematically neutralized. The focus shifted from consciousness and social commentary to materialism, violence, and nihilism. The image of the black man was twisted from a community leader into a hyper-violent, hypersexual caricature. The black woman was reduced to a disposable object of sexual gratification. The music that once united and empowered the community was transformed into a soundtrack of its own destruction. This was not an organic evolution. It was a deliberate, top-down manipulation, a textbook application of Bordeaux's theory of the journalistic field, where economic pressures and corporate interests dictate the content. The artists who promoted a positive, conscious message were marginalized, while those who peddled the most toxic and self-destructive narratives were rewarded with fame and fortune. The result is a generation raised on a diet of death, degradation, and despair, their minds and spirits shaped by a weaponized culture designed to keep them enslaved. Pornography, the industrialization of desire. The second prong of this attack is the pervasive and insidious influence of pornography. The internet has made hardcore pornography available to anyone at any time for free. This is not an accident. The proliferation of pornography is a deliberate strategy to hijack the human sexual impulse, one of the most powerful creative forces in the universe, and chain it to a cycle of addiction and shame. Pornography rewrites the brain.
The true frequency cannot be locked down.
Sex and intimacy, and fostering a transactional and predatory view of human relationships. For the black community, the effects are particularly devastating. The historical trauma of sexual exploitation during slavery is reactivated and amplified by a media landscape saturated with images of black bodies being bought, sold, and degraded. The sacred act of sex is stripped of its spiritual and emotional context, reduced to a mechanical performance of dominance and submission. This creates a profound sense of alienation and disconnection, both from oneself and from others, making genuine intimacy and community building nearly impossible. The weaponization of food and drugs. The final element of this trinity of trauma is the direct chemical assault on the body and mind. The food supply in the black communities is notoriously poor, dominated by processed foods, refined sugars, and industrial seed oils that create a state of chronic inflammation and nutritional deficiency. This is not a matter of personal choice. It is a result of deliberate policy, of food deserts, and a lack of access to healthy, affordable options. This diet is designed to keep the body in a state of low-grade sickness, to suppress the immune system, and to create the very diseases that the pharmaceutical industry profits from. At the same time, these communities are flooded with both legal and illegal drugs. The crack cocaine epidemic of the 1980s, which was fueled by the CIA's own covert operations, is the most blatant example of this strategy. But the legal drug trade is just as insidious. The overprescription of psychiatric medications, the aggressive marketing of opioids, and the contamination of the water supply with fluoride all serve the same purpose: to keep the population in a state of chemical sedation, to suppress higher consciousness, and to create a cycle of addiction and dependency. Together, these three forces, weaponized culture, an industrialized system of sexual exploitation, and a poisoned food and drug supply, create a perfect storm of trauma. They create a feedback loop where cultural degradation fuels psychological distress, which in turn drives addiction and self-destructive behavior. This is the engine of the media spell, a system designed to keep an entire population in a state of arrested development, forever chasing a fleeting high, forever disconnected from the true power and the divine potential.